like, well. Alright, red, splash, black, aggro. This is basically mono red aggro with a splash for Judith and Theater of Horrors. Notably, while Experimental Frenzy is very powerful, it's kind of clunky in multiples, whereas Theater of Horrors alongside Experimental Frenzy tends to work very reasonably. Other than that, a lot of other just miscellaneous aggressive cards. We also get access to Fireblade Artist in addition to Judy. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here. If we hit a good run with this, we might break into Mythic with it. This is a deck where, when it's running well, you win very quickly, which is nice. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, by the way. If you're a new viewer, welcome. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy standard best of 3 constructed with sideboards, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks. Usually we change decks every 60 to 90 minutes. All the decks I plan to play in a day are always listed in my stream title, up above or down below if you're on mobile, I suppose. And if you're interested in seeing what's in those decks before they come up, you can always check out the deck queue on my website, jeffhoagland.com. I'll always do my best to stay organized so you can know what to expect here. Stream Decker update. Yep, good call. Third land is great. Looks like a slow-ish start for Esper. If my opponent has one of their main deck cries, we're probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. But if they don't have a main deck cry, we have a good shot to just run them down here. Sure, erase me, baby. What they take with the ratio will be a little bit telling of what they have in their hand. Like, are they scared of Judith or are they scared of Experimental Frenzy? Leaving Frenzy there implies that they likely have a Mortify. I think there's a good chance they kill my board next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this to basically get into extra points of damage. The difference between a Stompy and an aggro deck, generally it's the size of the creatures you're playing, Motionless Potato. So a Stompy deck tends to play creatures that are just a little bit larger. Oh, they're playing Esper mid-range. Okay. I think I'm going to decline on both of these. Yeah, I'm going to decline on both of these. Because even if I draw the Lightning Strike like I did here, I still get to kill them. Look at that, just mulligan twice and it didn't matter. Upstairs. Good solid turn 4 lethal. Unbanned Twin, checking in for the 15th month in a row. Welcome back, thanks for keeping me around. Lava Coil. Truly fantastic. What do I want to trim here? It's probably Lightning Strike out. Yeah. The types of spells you play, like, usually Stompy decks don't have a ton of removal in them. But I think it's the big thing that sets it apart in my mind is the size of the creatures. They probably go up as large as Lyra, which could make Pestilent Spirit worth bringing in here. I don't know that I want to pull up that high on the draw, though. Yeah, I'm just going to bring in the Lava Coils for now. It's probably safe to assume they have a couple Lyras, though. Could go either way. Why not take out Shock instead of Lightning? Why is there a timer going on? Oh, did they time out? Weird. Shock's more resource efficient, which is a big deal in some situations. One mana versus 2 is the big consideration. Maybe I'm just supposed to play Fireblade Artist there because it gets in with haste and this is reach later. Light them up. They're on fire. That is very awkward. Do 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 do. Really unfortunate that we hit 5 mana worth of spells there. Not ideal. How many Twitch babies does this make? You really need to sleeve your deck with the A+ advice. Arc Memes, thanks for the 9 months of support. Welcome back. Alright, there's that Lyra I've heard so much about. Alright, well, we're gonna blow our load. If we hit a good Experimental Frenzy, we could maybe get drugged back into this game, but we're pretty far behind at this point. Between Light Up the Stage just being a draw one, basically, and then having to spend 2 cards killing the Lyra, not in a good spot. If they just have a bunch of Fumble and Bumble, we could still be okay, potentially. So much contempt for Lady Judy. And until they put, like, some kind of way to actually close the game out and play, I'm just going to hang tight. Because, like I said, a good Experimental Frenzy, or if they, like, don't have an answer to a Theater, those things can let us run away with the game. We're going to wait for them to, like, put an Angel into play, or a Teferi, or a Search for Escantus, something like that. That's going to let them snowball very quickly. It's a little shocking, I know. Yep. Shocking Judy. It's interesting. I don't know. Like, I feel like the fact that they're likely a Thief of Sanity deck makes Shocking Judy less appealing there. Like you said, the upside is only 1 extra point of damage. There is no upper limit to your health total in Magic. So there isn't a top. How big of a number can you think of? That's the limit. The top is when the client crashes. Yep. Yep. All right, Diagonal Goblin. Carry me to victory. Through the power of your angry attacks, we shall be victorious. Alright, hopefully our Light Up the Stage will actually draw 2 cards. It will draw no cards. It will not collect go. There shall be no wonder. Sorry, little monkey. Your dream of going to theater school is dead. The big, cruel Esper player has crushed it under their foot. The reality of working that office job is sinking in now. It got dark. Legit advice, did you assume jokes? Did you assume my X jokes aren't cool? Please and thanks, just skip doing those here. I encourage you to skip doing them everywhere, but definitely don't do them here. I think I'm gonna send this upstairs. If I draw a land, I'm gonna cast this Experimental Frenzy. Mortify me, baby. Mortify me. Please, please don't actually mortify me. This is your friendly reminder that this frenzy is experimental. It is largely untested. You should take all of it with a grain of salt. The Izzet are still working out the details. Risk factor would have been a great draw there. I don't know that I believe you. No, the London Mulligan is not coming to Arena. It's on Magic Online because the London is a modern Pro Tour. Oh. All right. All right, little Izzet, I believe in you. They might have taken your theater degree away, but the critics are still here. Alright. Alrighty. I boarded out Lightning Strike, didn't I? There's like only one more Skewer in my deck that's lethal at this point. We're dead. We're dead next turn. I assume they want to give both of these Vigilance here. We're gonna need our boy Frenzy here to do the job. Running Lava Coils. I suppose if there's a brick on top of my deck, I can blow... I suppose I could technically blow the Frenzy up and then coil. So the conservative play is blow the Frenzy up and then Lava Coil. The real philosophical question here, though, is did I register this many basic mountains to take the conservative play? I don't think I did. Frenzy confirmed to experimental. Frenzy confirmed to experimental. We are not particularly good at the whole... Not particularly good at the whole running off the Frenzy thing. Alright, I think it's right to play the Footlight Fiend on one. No, I'm going to play the Diagonal Goblin on one. I think it's right to play the Diagonal Goblin on one because I have Light Up the Stage in my hand. Because this way, next turn, I hit them with this again, and then if this doesn't find a 1-mana spell, I then play the Footlight Fiend and haven't missed any damage. All of this Thinking about stuff, and let's be careful, sounds like some blue land talk. We're red here. You gotta get in character, right? Embrace what's going on. No attacks here. I could like Firebrand the Branchwalker, and then I could Firebrand the Branchwalker and then attack, but I think I'd rather do it in response to an Explore trigger here to keep their things off the table. Ship it with the tip. Just wanted to say thank you. I'm a med student, and when I get off time, it's nice to always know you're streaming, so thanks a lot. Thanks for the tip, Ship It. Hope you're having a fantastic middle of your week. That is a Judith underneath the Theater of Horrors. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's play next Footlight. I feel personally attacked. I do big brain thinking with my red decks. But why? Why would you do big brain thinking with your red deck? Man, I got a bunch of decisions here. I've got Lightning Strike plus Judy under here. I've got a Dragonskull Summit here. I could, like, I think I want to shock the Krasis. Yeah, I could also, like, I could shock the Krasis, play Judy, play land. I could, like, shock Krasis, shock them, play land, play Judy. I think I like that. I think it's shock this, shock them, play Judy, attack. I wanna get these cards into play off of these ASAP before Vivian Reed comes down and like puts a kink in our plans. I think they're pretty willing to throw their board away based on what's under here. I mean, like, the end of the thinking was the attack with all button. Oh, gotta cast down that one, huh? Because Judy is legend. Wait for it, Dairy. Couple of diagonal goblins there. All right. Let's send this upstairs. Let's lightning strike this. Yeah. Tutti frutti. On Judy. Tutti frutti. On Judy. Do. Alright, this is definitely a Pestilent Spirit, Lava Coil in matchup. What are my... Today's shows involve fireworks and opponent's creatures. We also fill them with candy. Alright, I need 6 cuts here. I think I'm going to go ahead and trim the Fireblade Artist. This is a card that often quickly gets outclassed in terms of how large it is on the board. So I think I want to, even though it can sacrifice itself for reach later, I think it tends to, like, not do a whole lot beforehand. They need to trim 2 other things here. I think because I'm bringing in all the Lava Coils, I want to cut a couple of burn spells. I think, again, for the sake of resource efficiency, I want to leave the shocks and cut the lightning strikes. You can't cut Darth Maul unless you cut him in half. What's going on, Journey? It is a swell Wednesday. Diagonal Goblin, check. Red land, check. Light up the stage, check. Let's do it. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it again. No, it's actually very nice outside here. It's supposed to get cooler and rain a little bit later in the week, but it's great for the time being. Wow. Wow. These evil blue-black players always crushing the theatrical hopes and dreams of the Fanatical Firebrand. The Firebrand just views the world as a stage on which to perform, and people are they're just trying to keep him down. Just trying to keep him down. They just don't understand the Diagonal Goblin, his innermost desires. That last game was a good example of Theater of Horrors being sweet. Like, Experimental Frenzy would have been much worse there. Wow, they have... That's interesting. I'm surprised they have Thief in post-board. I'm gonna wait on playing this other Firebrand out, because I want to light the stage up this turn for sure. Light them up. They're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Do, 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 do. They could be... I think there's probably a chance that because they have Thief in their deck in this matchup, that they're playing the greedy Sultai build that doesn't have the Wild Growth Walker package that has Thieves in the main. It's snowing in Minneapolis right now. What's my forecast here? Now I'm worried. People keep talking about snow. My 5-day has no snow, although it's supposed to get back down to freezing on Sunday for us. What was my 10-day? My 10-day has snow. God, the Midwest is so messed up. I need to show you my weather forecast really quick. Next Tuesday is... I thought it said snow. Scatter. It's just all over the place. It's like, ugh. Keep. Will the Firebrand be able to fulfill his dream of performing on the stage, chat? That's the real question. All right, so I think we just shock this. I think it's important that we let Firebrand live up to his theatrical potential this turn. Because I might not be able to get through with this next turn. Yikes, that's awkward. The opponent does not see the chain when we do damage. That is one-sided. The natural enemy of the mono red deck. A 3/3. I've played matchups similar to this from the green-red side of the table, and I think the green-red deck tends to be pretty favored in this style of matchup. Oh, I guess if I'm playing the Pyromancer, I should have played the land under there, huh? I think I'm just gonna play a couple of Diagonal Goblins and pass here. Yeah, the kids and I have been riding bikes outside for like the last 3 or 4 days here. It might have been right to block the 3/3 and then Firebrand plus shock the Rekindling Phoenix. I might be in a position here where I can afford to like be controlling because I have the Theater of Horrors feeding me cards. Feels like that might be a possibility. So if they're on the Stone Cold Nothing plan, we might be okay here. They have Collision Colossus, we're dead. Dead varying iterations of Shock and Lightning Strike here as well. Like, our deck doesn't have, like, Goblin Chain Whirler to draw to here. Alright, time for the Lava Coils and, Pestilent Spirit to get back. We're just, like, 3 for 3 on boarding in Pestilent Spirits and Lava Coils. Feels like it. I think we board how I just boarded against Sultai, which is, like, this card comes out, the matchup for the ground grinds to a stop. Although, Lightning Strike's probably better than Shock here because they have Zerta Goblin. Yeah, let's try that. The Tibalt Planeswalker. Yeah, I think the 3-mana Tibalt's probably going to be playable. At the very least as a sideboard card in these aggressive decks. Stopping life gain's a big deal. If we hit a land next turn and get Theater going, we could be okay here on the play. Alright. Does Lightning Strike twice. Yeah, Matt likes the little version of green-red. I personally am not a fan. It is what it is. Rekindling Phoenix is a good enough card that even if you put other bad cards in your deck, you're still fine most of the time. I think I'm gonna do this and just try and hit a land here. Brutal, savage, wrecked. Alright, are we done here? It's feeling like we're done here. I guess if I draw a land next turn and get to go Footlight plus Judy, maybe we've got a shot. If I brick on the land, I'm gonna be done next turn. Yikes. Watch their light up the stage be better than ours. Every time. Never not much better. Alright, we came, we tried. Onward, upward, backward, forwards. What's the lowest we can be ranked now? Diamond 4 is the rank floor. Viashino Wizard. This is like an Argothian. If we were in the Elder Scrolls universe, would the Vanisho Wizards be Argothians? They're totally lizard people. Perfect. Perfect. You belong right there, little lizard person. Correct. Whenever you hit a new rank, you can't fall back below it. So like once you're diamond, you can't fall back into plat, etc. I'm gonna say no attacks this turn, and then next turn probably attack. My spells are very expensive. I say if they attack with that, this Footlight Fiend's gonna take them to Pound Town here. I want to kill one of these Tithe Takers, but I definitely want to hit them for at least one here. So that way I can go ahead and light up the stage. Light them up. We're on fire. I'm just gonna go ahead and shock one of these. I have enough mana that this being 3 mana is not really that big of a deal. Poor Judy. Tutti frutti. Oh, Judy. I think I take this trade here. I take 6. I go to 14. We skewer this off the board. Then we're like kind of racing here. We're kind of counting on Judy to make combat good for us. Diagonal Goblin's gonna stay home. We're currently losing this race, but hopefully our deck has less lands in it than theirs, so we'll be able to draw some gas. They flood out a little bit, and they draw like lands 5-6. We could be okay. That is not land 5. Okay. Working our way towards winning the race. Doo-da. This trade could mean they have another Amara. It could also just mean like they want a 1/1 lifelinker because it helps them win the race. It's also possible I should be trading this off at this point, but if I like draw a Judith, waiting to trade this is more valuable. That's a land. I think I'm at a point where I have to leave this back because this hits me only for 1, but it gains them 1, so it's kind of a wash. I think I'm firebranding one of these. Yikes! believe it or not, I think this is probably just worse than playing a Chain Whirler deck. We got these Cannonades in the sideboard here to like pretend they can help a little bit, but this is not a good scene. Yeah, I think we're gonna be done with this deck after this match. This is another one of those, if I recall correctly, this is one of those decks that we played like very early in the season that like kind of felt okay when everything was like kind of jumbled and people didn't really know what was going on, but then like as people found efficient variations of other decks, like it quickly became apparent that like this deck isn't powerful enough to keep up with other things that are going on. Just the sum of the parts that's going on here is just like not potent. Yeah, there's a question asked and answered in chat. Why didn't I kill the lifelink one? Because I only had a ground blocker. Wanted to give myself a draw step. I don't think I had any outs there. I guess Frenzy could have potentially been an out. I could have gone like Frenzy into Mountain into Shock. This card is such a beating on this side of the table when we don't have something like Chain Whirler to clean it up. Unfortunately, we didn't draw Judith there. Should have been real good. Or unfortunately, we didn't have a land for the Judith we drew, I mean. Would have been real good. I don't know. Figure it out. Alright, sweet. I drew a couple of extra lands. We had a bunch of gas. It was wonderful. Let's run it back. Maybe end on a W, even if we are a little bit underpowered here. Would be nice. Would be nice. We had someone in chat post a question about holding a land to bluff. When you have Experimental Frenzy in your deck, you don't want to hold lands to bluff, because if you draw Experimental Frenzy, you want to be able to play the land off the top of your deck and then keep going while having the most mana to cast all the spells you hit. So in general, in a lot of decks, it's fine to hold a land, but in decks specifically with this card, holding a land does have a very real downside. Theater here, so that that can start accruing cards. Remember, Theater just keeps the cards underneath it until you spend it. We get kind of punished if they have exactly Venerated Loxodon here, but outside of Loxodon, this is pretty reasonable for us. We'd love it if they'd play out some more cards that die to this Fiery Cannonade. We might be getting Loxodons here. Oh, Tribunal, sure. That's fine. We've got Frenzy in hand, so like, and another Theater apparently. Dunk. Yeah, Hydrate Grace is another one that makes you want to play out your lands. The inverse of that is also true too, though. There's plenty of cards in this format that make you want to... what's the word I'm searching for? There's plenty of cards in this format that make you want to hold lands, like Sarkin Firebrand's a good example of one. Like, you want to hold a land with that card, so that way you can, what's the word I'm searching for? So you can, Jumpstart, yep. So I think I want to wait to Frenzy here. I think I want to use these Skewers first. Disinformation Campaign when your opponent's playing as another card. And I think I want to kill this token here. I think between Flourish being a card that they could play, and Theater of Horrors, and Experimental Frenzy, like, spending my burn spells killing these things is profitable, because I'm just going to be accruing way more cards than they are. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Sunhouse Magic is a complicated and dynamic game where there's no hard and fast rule about what to do with your resources. Actually, I wonder, there might be merit to waiting on this Cannonade. There might be merit to just, like, having my Firebrand ping another one of their tokens there. Yeah, I think this is a March. If they're about to march for 5, yeah, I think I messed this up. I think I should have had my thing ping one of their tokens there. And then I could have held on to the Cannonade for, like, a rainy day. Because I think, like, if I have the Cannonade between, again, like, Theater and Frenzy, as this game goes long, Theater and Frenzy make me incredibly likely to win. Well, no, so I'm not saying Theater can ping the tokens. I'm saying Theater generates card advantage, which makes it likely for me to win as the game goes long. That was an incredibly good combination of draws. Yikes. Not a whole lot we could do there outside of waiting on the Cannonade, which I think was probably correct. I don't know, the way they ended up landing Tristani there, I'm not sure if my mistake ultimately would have mattered, but I do think it's right. I should have had the Firebrand hit the other thing, and then I could have played Frenzy out. And I guess it really could have mattered, because if I would have held on to the Cannonade, they'd have had one token, but I'd have had Frenzy in play, and then the whole dynamic of the game changes when I have Frenzy out, because Frenzy lets me kind of power through my deck. Overall, I'm going to be done with this one. This is a deck that we played a little bit earlier in the season. I think it's just not quite good enough. The power level from these few black cards that you gain from splashing these black cards is not worth the not having access to Chain Whirler and not having the consistency. They just Tribunal anyways. That's true. They did hit Tribunal also anyway, so I guess the way it played out, it didn't work. I do think it was still wrong at the time, but maybe they Tribunal. I guess they can see the Fiery Cannonade, but there could have been like another Cannonade on top of my deck, so I do think if I pause and think there, I would have sequenced a little bit differently.